All right, cameras are on. Let me start the recording.
This meeting is being recorded.
We are live.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody. This is Techno Tuesday, and we want to welcome you to the Lunch Bunch at the Spiritual Neighborhood. The Spiritual Neighborhood is a grassroots community project of the Council of Families for Children, dedicated to the quality of life for the body, mind, and spirit, for the integration of the healthy, happy human. And today is Techno Tuesday, yay! And so we're going to just talk about whatever Spirit asks us to talk about or guides us to talk about. We're here to do that today. Anybody got any wisdom they want to share this afternoon?
I
do. Yay!
Okay. First of all, let me point out it is not Tipsy Techno Tuesday because we're all keeping our wits about us. Because we're doing our free gallery tonight. So it's not too late to sign up and be there or be square, because you won't get very many opportunities to get a free gallery like this ever. So
so go to the Spiritual Neighborhood Facebook page and sign up for tonight. It's from 7 to 9 p.m.
So this is nothing
online.
This is nothing big. I just thought it was interesting. I was playing around with a new deck of cards yesterday for parties, and these are Angel Power cards.
Ooh.
I like Angel Power cards, and all the suits in it are different angels, and then they have. It seems to like it from what I can tell. It seems to follow Standard Tarot pretty closely, but they're all angel cards. So, a lot of times people want to know things about the cards, and I thought, well, you know what? I need to know what these angels, who they are, And we'd had that really cool discussion with John about angels, and then we've had Kay talk about it. And the thing about it is that in the Judeo-Christian Bibles, they talk of angels, but not very many of them have names, and we get more of their names from the Quran, from the Gnostic Gospels, from the Book of Enoch, and things like this. So I like also putting things very short and things I can remember. So there was Raziel, and Raziel is the secret of God. That's what he's all about. And of course there's Michael. Michael's the protector, enforcer. But what's interesting is everybody thinks that Michael's the most powerful angel, but he is not. There's Metatron, which actually sounds like a transformer. And Metatron is the most powerful. Yes. And he's also the mediator. And I love that because you have to be powerful to be a mediator, to keep order, to keep control, and be able to work out compromises. Sandalphon is the deliverer of prayers. Jeremiel is hopeful visions and dreams. Uriel is the flame of God. I love Uriel. Japhel is the beauty of God. Hanel is the joy of God. And I don't know if I'm saying these right, and I don't really care.
I think everybody pronounces them differently, so it's okay.
So Ariel is the line of God. I love that line of God. Raphael is the trumpet of God because he's supposed to be the one that blows the trumpet when it's time for revelations. And then Gabriel is God's messenger. Gabriel's the one that came and told Daniel things, delivered the message about John the Baptist being born, about Mary being impregnated with Jesus. So he's the one that brings the good tidings of great joy. So I just thought that was just kind of a little interesting tidbit, and kind of ties in with some of our other sessions and stuff. So not a big deal.
Well, how are we going to do the readings for tonight?
I don't know. What do y'all want to do? I've been making these things up as I've had 2 virtual parties the past week, and I just been kind of making things up as I go. So we're going to have 3 people. We can all do stuff. We can just, pick out people that we want to talk to. What do y'all want to do? I'm open to suggestions.
I think we kind of just go intuitively like we do this.
I want to talk to you. You in the corner.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Carrie and
ask everybody to do.
Carrie Glazer and I did a gallery once that was phenomenal. And what happened is that she would go and she would start giving messages. And then I would jump in, and I would actually just do some coaching. It's really what it was coaching. And then based upon all the energy that would go, then I would expound upon her message, and then we just kind of piggybacked off each other. There wasn't any rhyme or reason, and the people would just kind of throw their question out there, and whoever got the message first would start, and then we just played off each other.
Exactly. That's where I've seen all galleries go. Exactly. So I think that what we do want to ask everybody is either, to have a name that we can call you out and say, well, Susan, blah, blah, blah.
Well, their name will be on the screen. Everybody will have a name on the screen. Now,
we just want to make sure.
Here's what's funny. When I do prophetic ministry at my Bible study, we're doing it on Zoom as well. And a lot of times people won't have video up. They won't even have a picture up. And a lot of times they'll have their children's name up because they're on their children's account. Or they'll, like one day there was just a number that was like R2D2 type. And I'm like, okay, R2D2. And then another guy was up there as Uncle Guido. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting here giving you a message from God, Uncle Guido.
Yeah, the names don't have to be real.
Message for you.
Yeah, they can put whatever name they want if they don't want us to know their real name. We just need to call out something.
But I've never actually,
So actually, we're telling them they can be anonymous. They do not have to have their actual
it didn't matter because we're doing the energy, not the name. But here's the thing that's interesting to me. It dawned on me last night. I have participated in group galleries where I've worked with other psychics and prophetic people, but I've never seen one in action as a participant. So, that's kind of weird, I think. Bizarre, unusual, unique.
It'll be fun.
So,
I enjoy doing galleries with others more than doing it by myself because I find it interesting. And one of the things people don't really understand is that we're all different. Our personalities are different. So our experiences are different. Our signs and symbols are different. So, I may pick up on something and then you may pick on something else. And sometimes I find that it has to do with our own life experiences. I'll pick up on things that have happened to me in my life that they've gone through similar situations and vice versa for all of you guys. So, I may not always pick up everything. Elizabeth may not pick up everything. You may not pick up everything, but you're going to pick up something that somehow relates to you and to that person. Usually that's what I find is the situation.
Well, I'll reiterate this tonight when we get started, but, today I just want to tell people we are not going to tell you everything about you. It is not our job to know everything. We are only here to encourage, uplift, and enlighten and empower, And if you don't like what we say, then don't listen to it.
Well, listen, you know what? The best psychic medium doesn't always get it all right. And if any psychic medium tells you they get it 100% right, I'm not sure that's true because we're all human and we interpret things differently and we all have a different library. One thing I would ask, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way, is just have an open mind and open heart to what you are receiving. You may come in with the idea you want to hear this or you want to hear that, but Spirit may say, well, this is what they really need to hear to heal. So that I just ask that you have an open mind.
Well, a lot of it too is the definition that people put on words. Like, for instance, a lot of times I run across people that think introverted means shy, and they're not the same thing. And they go, well, I'm not introverted. I'm not, I like talking to people. I just need my downtime. Excuse me, that's introverted, not shy. So you have to make sure that you're on the same page with people just with definitions of words, especially when you're talking to them about them. Because while people love to hear about themselves, they are quick to offend a lot of times as well. So, it's a tightrope we walk.
Well, I will tell people that, whatever I give you today is up to you to take and use it for your highest good. I can give you that information, that knowledge, that wisdom, but what are you going to do with it? It's not up to me to heal you. It's up to you to heal yourself. And as all three of us know, we go through things that we don't share on this show. And I think I made a statement yesterday about sometimes that, things that happen is more about that person than yourself and vice versa sometimes, but we have to look at who we are and healing that. And so those readings can be really tough and hard. Now, I will tell you, I will not tell somebody when they're going to die. I am not going to tell somebody they have to do this. that's not my job. My job is just to share with you wisdom and knowledge from whoever it comes from. It may be a loved one, it may be an angel, it may be God, it might be, all of above, but it is up to you to take that information and use it for your highest good. But yeah,
I don't do death. I don't do divorces. I don't do marriages. I don't do births. I just don't. I mean, in a private reading, there's a little more flexibility with things, but because I want to remind people that no matter what we say, even if it's completely 100,000% accurate, you always have the ability to change it. It's about free choice. It's about free will. It's about making conscious decisions about what you want to happen. Now, I did break that rule once at a party. This woman walked in the door, and I knew immediately she was pregnant. And I don't know why that became so big for me. It was like she walked in the room and went, oh my God, there's a baby. And I also knew that she was not pregnant. So I took that as meaning I needed to kind of give her a clue phone. And I'm like, okay, but I don't want to break my rule because I've already made my announcement. This is my rule. So before we left our reading, I said, okay, so I have one last thing for you. You're about to experience a life-changing event that will last forever, and it will cost you a lot of money.
Wow.
That was good. That was good. That was good.
Well,
That
there's
was
always
good.
a better way of, sharing news with somebody different than what you're receiving it. I mean, in a soft, gentle, loving way. And I will tell you one reason why I will not share death. And I've had people ask me, but years ago, a friend of mine had found out that and she's an amazing psychic medium, doesn't practice it anymore, but, she had found out that a friend of hers was terminally ill, and she knew exactly when the day he was going to die. And she told him. And he said, well, what day? She said, well, I'm not going to tell you. And he hounded her till she finally told him. And he changed everything he was doing in his life. Had she not told him, he would have continued to do the things that he was doing in his life to stay healthy and happy. But when he found out of the day he was going to die, he just threw his hands up and was like, well, if I'm going to die, then, because in his mind, unless he actually had that date and he knew she was very accurate, not 100%, but he knew she was good, he was still trying to do what he was supposed to do, go to doctor appointments, go to, do his treatments, be healthy and do things he needed to do. But when she gave him that date, that all went out the door and he died even before then because of it. So for me, what's the purpose of telling somebody, that they're going to die on a certain day and take away? That's like almost taking away their life at that moment, because it just changes everything for you. And two, we have to realize that if he had continued, he could have lived past that date or maybe even healed that, because none of us are 100% sure. So for me, that's just not, and people will say, well, why do you get that information? Well, when you're reading energy, I love psychometry. I don't know if y'all do psychometry. I love psychometry. And so you will pick up stuff off of people, but does that mean you should always share it? I don't necessarily think so. And maybe that person will bring it up and it'll validate for you that what you picked up. Yesterday I did one, and there was a couple of things that I picked up and I didn't share. And then that person shared it with me and I was like, oh, cool, I had already picked that up. So, you just have to really think about how much responsibility you have in giving people messages that will affect their life in a traumatic way.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, someone tried to tell me when I was going to die, I'd punch him in the nose. To me, that is the most irresponsible thing that anyone can do in any profession. Even a doctor, just sit there and say, you're going to die at this day. You can say you're hurting your life expectancy or something like that in a medical profession. But I find that appalling, absolutely appalling.
Yeah.
That goes beyond unethical in my mind.
Well, and that may be why she stopped doing what she was doing, because, she wasn't able to, for whatever reason, continue to say, no, I'm not giving you that information. She just finally gave.
Well, why even bring it up though? See, to me, that, why even bring up, I know when you're going to die. I know you're going to die.
I don't know.
I mean, seriously?
I don't know. This has been years ago, but it did affect me. It did affect me. And I had decided then that I would never, even if I thought I knew, I would never share that information. And if there is something that is sad or hard, difficult news, I'm like you, Deborah, I'm going to find a way to give them that information where they can receive it softly and deal with it in a soft manner. And
well, I don't always get my information softly. Sometimes I'm very blunt, you know.
Well, that's your personality too.
Yeah, you know, and when people want to argue with me, I'm like, I'm not going to argue with you. This is what I picked up. This is what I feel I'm supposed to say to you. If you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to. You don't have to listen to it. I won't argue with people. I won't debate it. I'm like, here's the information. Take it or leave it. And the thing about it is that what's interesting to me is when they sit there for about 3 minutes and then they go, oh yeah, you're kind of right, you know. And they just have to kind of whirl it around in their head and stir it up a little bit, and it's forcing them sometimes to be more honest with themselves, because it's like I did a handwriting profile for a lady once, and I've only had this happen one time in all the times I've been doing this, and she goes, oh, that is the worst profile I've ever seen. Nothing's right. You just really screwed this up. And I'm like, well, you know, okay, I'm following the directions. I'm following the science. This is what I came up with. I'll be more than happy to refund your money if you really think there's no value here, you know, because I don't want you unhappy, but I'm not going to sit down and go, oh, I'm going to do it again. I did it right. Okay. So she called me back the next day and she goes, I owe you an apology. I'm like, really? Why? She goes, I'm in a 12-step program. Like, I didn't know that. I saw that in her handwriting. And she goes, I was in denial, so I have to make amends. So I'm going to pay you twice for this. And I'm like, no, you're not. You don't have to.
Wow.
You're fine. Just the fact that you called and apologized, that was wonderful. You know.
But her acknowledging it was powerful for her.
Yeah.
That was powerful.
Yeah. So we had a
For
good
her,
laugh over
yes.
it, you know, and we're actually pretty good friends now. So.
That's good. That's good.
But
Well,
anyway.
You know, you have those people that will deny, and you have to just honor that's where they're at, and they can take it or leave it. I've only had 1 or 2 clients in over 11 years that I've given their money back and said, I can't do this with you, and it would be unethical for me to, and let them go on their way. And I've even referred them to somebody else. So, you know, if they're not open to hearing what you have to say, then we just need to let them go on their way. And it's not always about you. It might be about them having those doors down and not listening to you and not wanting to connect to your energy. I will tell you, one time I connected to this woman's energy and I kept seeing all these things and it wasn't making sense. And I was telling her what I was seeing. And then she didn't tell me for several minutes. And then she goes, well, everything you're saying is my son. And I said, oh my gosh, you are so involved in your son's life. I don't even feel your energy. I'm only feeling his energy. So what the message was for her she needed to back away and let him live his life. He was a grown man and she needed to move on and do her thing. And, you know, so that was a really good experience for me because I had never experienced that. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced it where you doing that reading for that person, but the energy is not hers or theirs. It's somebody else's part of their life is so, they're so involved in that they've lost their own soul, their own life, their selves.
Well, I have to admit, I'm a little excited about tonight for a very weird reason.
Okay.
I have never seen Elizabeth in action. And I have heard so many cool and wonderful things that I am almost wanting to say, I'm going to mediate and moderate the group, but I want to be a participant. Because I want to see what Elizabeth pulls off tonight and what she does. I mean, Sharon used to rave about Elizabeth. And just, you know, and that was not Sharon's style, you know. She was pretty calm, cool, and collected and pretty, you know. But when it came to Elizabeth, oh my gosh, she really, really sang her praises.
That's pretty cool.
So
Sharon was an amazing woman.
Yeah.
I can't wait. So here's the deal. What I'll do is I'll wear a hat, and when I take my hat off, Elizabeth, that means I want to be in the group. Pick me.
I forgot to put mine on. Woo-hoo.
Pick me, Elizabeth. Pick me.
Okay, the lady without the hat, whoever you are. Yes, you. Yes, you.
Tell me something good.
Let me think about that. Well, there are a lot of ideas that you're thinking about that you really should pursue. That I know. I mean, pertaining to adding gifts and things along those lines of what it is that you're wanting to do. And there are certain things that you really do need to go solo on.
Well, it's
And
weird that you
I'm just
said
going to
that.
stop there.
That's weird that you said that, because I had a similar conversation last week with my I don't know what you call him. I guess he's my friend, but he's also kind of my faith mentor, because he's a Christian prophetic minister, and we do prophecy ministry together. And it seems like one of my new gifts is medical intuitiveness. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, Deborah, that's scary."
Oh.
He goes, "That's scary stuff." He goes, the intensity of that is incredible. And, you know, he goes, "I would never wish that on anybody," is what he said. And I'm like, well, okay. Thanks for the encouragement. So it's...
Well, that's a big, but that goes back to, the connection of Jesus. It goes back to the connection of the beginning of time. It goes back to what many people have told you about DNA and the angel connection and all of those different things. So to me, that doesn't surprise me, because that is a forward motion. If you intend to go forward, that is a forward motion.
Well, I intend to go forward.
If you intend to stay where you are, then it'll just, pan out, and you'll do whatever it is that you need to do. But as a growth, from a metaphysical aspect, growth and going forward, that only seems to be the natural resource to go forward.
Yeah, no, I intend to go forward. It's my commitment. It's my commitment to God. It's my commitment to my own personal resilience and faith and everything else that goes with it. But, you know what I think my biggest gift is, though, to the world, seriously, is the fact that people can look at me and go, "What is so daggum special about her? She cusses too much. She's rough around the edges. My God, her life was a mess for so many years. She's made a lot of bad decisions. But if God can take someone like me and use them for a higher purpose that makes the world a better place, if he can do that with me, oh my God, he can do it with anybody."
The one thing we got to remember is that you're going through all that, but so is everybody else. There is not one person in this whole wide world that doesn't have lessons to go through. So you know what? The thing of it is yours is, you wear it on your sleeve. You let everybody see it. You let everybody learn from it. Not everybody's willing to do that. Even me, sometimes, I'm afraid to share stuff about myself that people would judge me. And then I have to step back and go, but what if I share that information and it helps somebody that hears it? If it just helps one person, And so I think what you're doing is really teaching people, Deborah, in a roundabout way. You're when you post the things you do, it makes people think. And yeah, you do attract those people that say, well, F you, what you believe in, and who gives you the right, and blah, blah, blah. But your response is always in a loving way, and it's not a negative way.
Yeah, I love it. I love it when someone said to me the other day, he goes, "Well, you're just really judgy." And I'm like, "Did you just judge me?" I people don't see themselves. It's funny. I like making them at least stop for a minute and think. But
Deborah, that I think that's what, even for myself. Sometimes I say something and it'll come out of my mouth, and I'll go, "Oh, wait a minute, that applies to me too."
Yeah.
And I will tell you that doing the show with you ladies for the last several weeks, going on what we started
months.
In March.
It's
in
been
March,
months,
April, May.
not weeks.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding us. Thank you for keeping us on the straight and narrow, Elizabeth.
But I have learned so much, and I've healed, and and I'm so much in a so much better place now than I was a couple of months ago. So
That's awesome.
And then it was not just you, Deborah, but you, Elizabeth, as well. And the laughter that we create for ourselves and for others is so healing. And especially with those darn puppets.
Suck my tooth. Suck my tooth. Elizabeth, who impacted
How
you
did
the
I know
most?
that?
Who impacted you the
That
most
was gonna come out of your mouth.
metaphysically?
What?
Who impacted you the most metaphysically?
Gosh, metaphysically?
Or anyway, whoever you want to talk about. We don't have to restrict it.
Well, I don't know. I've known this all my life. I haven't really been without it. My grandmother was she was very open. She loved all things metaphysical. My mom, obviously. I mean, God, what a great person I chose for that. My mom was just all about metaphysics. She loved everything.
Who helped you have your biggest epiphany?
My biggest epiphany. Maybe I haven't had one yet.
Maybe it's me.
I mean, maybe I have. Well, I'll tell you what happened when I knew I was on the right track.
Yeah, that's a good story.
My mentor and I used to do parties like Deborah, and we've done all the hotels of Dallas and Fort Worth. I mean, it was a really great experience.
Mm-hmm.
So we were both dressed up as gypsies. We went as fortune tellers. And so we liked each other, and she was my mentor, and I could just learn so much from her, and especially after the show was over and we were talking about, well, what did you do with this? And let me show you how you can do that. It was just awesome. So we went to, I don't know, one of the hotels. They have, those big ballrooms where they section it out with the drapes and it goes to the ceiling.
Yeah,
and it becomes these huge spaces. Well, she was on one end and I was on the other, but we could see each other, and we're both facing, like say north, we're both facing that direction. And we're working, and we're doing the party, and it's great and wonderful, and it's just like, oh my God, this is just awesome. I'm having such a good time. And I looked up and I kind of leaned this way, and I saw a line that I could not see the end of. And I looked over at my mentor, and there was no one.
Wow.
And that's when I knew everything had switched. All the energy just switched. And we never really discussed it, but from that point on, there was a definite shift in the energy. You can tell there was a definite shift, and it never was really quite the same afterwards. But to me, I guess that was the moment when I knew, girl, you got this. All you got to do is just be me. And so what I recognized was I was the worst her I could possibly be, but I was the best me.
I get that.
I can't be her. I have to be me.
What's really fun about your story as you got to the part about the line, I had an electrical shock through my body, and I'm very visual. So I'm visualizing your story, and I saw this enormous sunburst behind your head as you described the line. It was incredible.
Yeah, it was amazing. There was a point in time where we actually had to have security guards take us to our cars because we were having people, the word got out through the hotel. And apparently there was a bunch of Aussies there from Australia, and they had come in for some reason. I think it was during the FIFA deal where they're doing soccer and all that. And these people were coming up and going, I will pay you money if you'll just come up to this room and read for us. And I'm going, dude, I can't do that. I cannot break my contract. I will get in really major trouble. This is not, I just can't do. I mean, and then they were showing me the money. And I'm looking, thinking, oh my God, these are.
You want your integrity tested, wait till you're at a party and they throw down $500 on your table and say, if you'll just stay 15 more minutes and give me a private reading, this is your money. And I'm like,
you can't do it.
It's my contract.
That is,
Right.
That is not part of the deal.
Yeah. I've had several experiences like that. And I'm like, oh my God. And, in our contracts.
And I'm looking at it. Oh my God, I'm looking at this money thinking, oh my God, I can help my mom do this, or I can help her do that, or, oh my God.
I'm thinking, boy, that'll buy me a lot of bourbon, But, the thing about it that gets me too.
Well, see, I was going in the opposite direction. What can I do to, this is more money for her to have her medication. We're not going to have to worry about it. Yeah. Those kinds of things.
It will test your integrity. It will.
Oh, geez.
And what gets me is that sometimes we work for someone who's working for someone who's working for someone. We don't even know who the end client is. And I have actually gone to parties and not even know who's attending the party, what company it's for, what group it's for. And you can't tell them.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
Yeah, and you can't tell them who you work for. You can't tell them how to get a hold of you. You can't tell them anything, So one of the things
we could do that. We actually had business cards from the company. And
sometimes.
If they wanted to get in touch with us, they had to go through the company.
Yeah, sometimes we can do that. Sometimes.
But only if it was in a corporate setting.
Yeah, sometimes we can do that, but not all the time. One of the things I did, though, is I made sure I branded myself really well. If you know my name, Deborah Colleen Rose, you can find me. I am all over Google as Deborah Colleen Rose. So if they ever ask, who was that gypsy? And someone tells them my name, they can find me. But other than that, that's the only resource we have most of the time. So,
Well, I haven't Googled myself in a long time, so I don't know what comes up anymore.
You should Google yourself. It'll make you giggle. See?
I will do that after the show. I will Google myself and see.
My kids laugh at me because
I'll look everything up online.
My kids laugh at me because they said, you talk like an old European woman. Because I'm like, well, go to the Google. They go, it's just Google, not the Google.
Go to the Google. Yeah, sure.
You go to the Google.
We from old country. We look up on Google.
Yeah. The Google is my friend.
Yeah, sure.
Well, in the Google too.
Right after I go pick up laundry out on lawn, I come back, look Google.
I go to the Google and it says, I look at the calendar on the Google and it says, it's time for you to go to the doctor. So the Google is my friend. It tells me it's time to go to the doctor. And it says, now it's time for you to go and do this.
Yeah.
The Google runs my life.
Well, yeah, it can.
What I'm finding, though?
It certainly can do that.
I was on Google the other day and I put a few names in there. And what I'm finding is that a lot of people a lot of friends I know close their websites. A lot of people in this metaphysical field have closed their websites. And I'll tell you why. And for me, and why I closed mine is I'm spending money for a website that I don't know, I get as many visits to it as I do my Facebook page. And most of my clients come to me through word of mouth. And when I go out and do events, people say, oh, I went to this event and had a reading with Gail. I don't do as many readings as I do healing sessions. I do heart healing release in my affairs. But I've had a lot of people tell me their websites are no longer serving them anymore. So, Elizabeth, you still have a website?
No, I recognized way back a long time ago that Facebook was the way to go for me, not for everybody, but for me, because my services were changing as I was learning more tools and blah, blah. And because I was working in the industry for the entertainment, I really didn't need one because I was already, set in that store. But I'm kind of like you. I don't have a following, but I mean, I have the ones that get in touch with me, it's mainly word of mouth, or it's because I've worked a party and they've gone, oh, can I hire you, for the next one? Absolutely. Because now I'm in control of it.
I would like
And
to
I
do
had
more
to
private.
eventually give up that gig. I miss it from time to time because now I could go and really enjoy myself instead of going, oh my God, I got to get home.
Well, then you're just going to have to help me promote my Miles of Smiles Entertainment, because I work for Catherine under Mystic Catherine, but I also have Miles of Smiles Entertainment. And that's because I would like to personally do more house parties, small house parties.
Yeah.
Because
House parties are really good. I love that.
There's an energy with the big corporate gigs that I love. I mean, I have literally done maybe 200 readings in a night. Boom, boom, boom. I've got a system where I can do people in 3 minutes. We're moving, baby. Let's go, But I love doing the small, intimate groups. Those are awesome. But I have a website for my investigative page. I have one for the Council of Families. I have one that's just about me and my different services. And then I have Miles of Smiles. I also have Facebook pages for all of those. But on my personal Facebook page, it's connected to Instagram and also to Twitter. And between those three things, I have over 15,000 people that I'm connected to. And that's not counting LinkedIn. I forgot about LinkedIn. That's got about 8,000. And
oh my God, LinkedIn. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about
does
that.
anybody use LinkedIn anymore? I mean, seriously.
I haven't
I
used it
did
in
when
years.
when my books came out. I used LinkedIn, but after that, I don't.
Oh, and then I have my Amazon page as an author with all my books on there.
I've got that.
So you never know what works. I've had what I love about what's happened with this quarantine thing, and I don't care what you want to call it. I'm just calling it a quarantine. So don't call me up and go, it's not a quarantine. I don't want to hear that crap.
It's a pandemic.
Yeah. So is that it has forced us to do things out of our comfort zone and get creative. But I have done things for people that are not even in this country. And so I realize now that we're in a position to where we can compete in a business level with people all over the world, and we don't get priced out. Because before, if I was going to do a party in Mexico or a party in Canada, they'd have to pay my travel. They'd have to pay my hotel.
Of course.
And you're looking at anywhere between $2,000 and $3,000 just to get my happy ass up there, not counting my fee, And the fee is outrageous because I'm losing work time, with the travel and everything. And it's the same principle with doing investigations. And now I do things all over the world. Investigations over the world, parties all over the world, So I think that in so many ways, while we have been closed in physically on every other level, it's opened us up to unlimited possibilities. It's just, getting out there and figuring out how to make people aware of us so they can find us. So websites may not be the answer, but I don't know what it is. So.
Well, I tell you, I've been using Zoom for years. I mean, years.
Well, you're way ahead of the game.
And when I was able to read with people with interpreters, and it became international. And I recognized this is this is a system that I had to create because I was stuck at home.
Well, see, you were in that quarantine already.
I'm not going to make any money.
Yeah, so you were in quarantine already, and you had to get
I took care of my mom for almost 15 years. In the last,
I didn't know it was that long.
The last 5 to 10. Well, I mean, it was basically a lockdown, and it got worse. I mean, there was a time when I could, at least go out and have dinner, and then it got to where there was no going out.
Oh yeah, we're definitely coming to your house and do a belly dance.
Yep.
Belly dance. I got the belly to dance. Yeah.
We have speaking.
So back to being global and on Zoom. This pandemic, quarantine, whatever, has increased my business exponentially because now everybody's learning how to use Zoom, as to where before, no, I don't want to do that. I don't know how to use Zoom. It's like, well, okay.
Yeah.
And I just waited. Because I knew eventually this was going to take off. And now it's like, well, what, you're not going to be on Zoom? What? I have to call you on the phone? It's like, no, we can, people, I was on Zoom before y'all knew how to pronounce the word.
Well, it killed all of my business right across the board immediately. Boom. I mean, I had gigs booked out to here. I had surveillances. I had investigations, and everything went. But now it's starting to open back up. It just looks different. And like last night, I thought that was really ingenious. They wanted cards last night, so I set up 2 cameras, one for me and one for my desk. So they could see the cards as I was laying them out and stuff. So it still kept them involved from the card aspect instead of trying to hold it up to the camera and, and let them see it and stuff like that. Now, ironically enough, with that brilliant idea, my camera went dead. I forgot to charge it.
Oh, no.
But you know what?
Yeah.
But by the time that happened, they were so engaged, it didn't matter. They were so engaged.
Yeah.
So it just kind of got us through that initial hump of getting comfortable with each other. I do find it takes a little bit longer.
It's the same way with teaching a class.
Yeah.
It's the same concept.
So
2 cameras.
yeah. So we're just getting to be so savvy, and if old people can do it, anybody can.
Hey.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I was speaking for Elizabeth.
I am there. I mean, I get techno challenged all the time. So yeah, I'm there. I get it. I mean, we need young people in our lives just so we know what to do.
I am more techno savvy than my kids, though, sometimes. That frustrates me.
Well, my go-to person was always my mom because she was in the field and she knew all about, computers and Word and you name it. She knew everything. I mean, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah, my kids are very savvy. I can call them up and they usually help me. Now, I will tell you, my mom's 84. And she used to be very good on the computer, and for whatever reason, she's lost all that at 84 years old.
Well, I think after a while you get tired. Maybe I should have Squeaker do readings for tonight.
Oh yeah, that'll just add to our credibility, won't it?
Yeah, why not?
I would lay hands on you, but I have no hands. Let me put my tooth on you. Here, I'm gonna put my tooth on you.
I draw a card for you, but I have no hands, so I can't.
touch my tail. Rub my tail. Ooh, that feels good.
Stop it. Stop.
This is not going to be the medium.
I could do that. I could do
This
that.
is not what will happen tonight. I don't think.
No, not tonight. Let's do a good, later on maybe we can.
Don't tempt me. Do not tempt me.
Let's be nice. Let's be nice.
I am being nice. I'm funny.
What the fuck? Be nice. What she's saying is behave. Behave.
No.
Don't behave.
No. Oh, no. My heart. It stopped.
Well, listen, we're going on almost an hour, ladies.
Okay.
What is it? 12? Oh no, 45 minutes. But tomorrow we have Vicki Albin, who is she's a massage therapist, but she also does craniosacral therapy.
Have you ever had craniosacral therapy? Oh my God.
It's amazing.
Oh my God.
I had it with Vicki. Vicki's a good friend of mine. Have y'all met Vicki?
No.
Okay, you'll meet her tomorrow. She's a very sweet lady. And
Awesome.
I had a session with her. It was amazing. And I should do more. It's like they say you should probably go for a massage once a month. And I know people that do that, and I should do that. But
I went once a week, every week, until this thing set in. I love my massage.
Yeah.
I go to this little Asian lady.
I missed it.
And it's almost like we're having sex because she climbs up on me and sits on me and she walks on me and sometimes she gets up and she pulls on me.
Oh my God.
And
she actually walks on you?
Yeah. They have this pole that they have in the ceiling and they hold on and they can walk and stuff. But the first time she climbed up on me, I went, oh, What are we doing?
Wait a minute now.
Because I'm naked and this is a real thin sheet. What? You know, and I'm just kind of laying there holding my breath.
Now.
And Scott and I go together though, so we're in the room together. So I knew I was, you know, at least I had some backup if I had to throw her off, and because I don't know if she knows kung fu or karate or what, you know.
Well,
I mean, I'm a brown belt in Taekwondo, but I haven't done it in years. So.
Well, Vicki lives in Waxahachie. It's quite a ways from y'all, but there are a lot of people that watch our show that are in that area, and hopefully we've got a lot of great massage therapists in the area, actually.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, a lot. And of course, we're going to have Audra on Thursday. And I believe she does something with massage, but she's going to be talking about acupuncture. And
Who?
so we have a good lineup. Audra.
I thought you said Aja, and I'm like, who the hell is Aja?
No, we haven't. You know what? We in the next 4 or 5 weeks, we're almost booked. I think we got like on the 6th week, you know, maybe what is this? So like towards the end of June, we might have a couple of days still open, but we're pretty booked, and most of them are returns that we're going to have monthly, but we have several new people coming on as well.
That's because we're popular. We're not cheerleaders.
Martha's going to be on Thursday. Is that right, Martha?
No, we rescheduled her, and we have Audra, and then we have Michelle Barr on Friday.
Watley, I believe is how you pronounce her name.
And Michelle Barr is Friday, is that correct?
Friday.
Yeah, and then Martha's on the 3rd, so it's still not too late for y'all to decide if you want to go with her to the Hill House or not.
Now, wait a minute. Martha is on what now?
The 3rd.
On the 3rd? I've got Luann on the 3rd.
Who?
We'll look it up. We'll look it up.
We will get it straightened out.
We'll look it up.
Martha is on the 3rd on the calendar, our calendar. So, but we'll get it all straightened out. I know a friend of mine, she does and has done many fire walks. So you guys interested in hearing about that?
No, I don't want to hear about firewalks. I'm not, no disrespect, but I mean, everybody and their dog has done firewalks. I mean,
I have not.
well,
I haven't.
I will put a fire pit in the backyard and we will throw those ashes in the driveway and you can have at it.
It's amazing that people can do that.
It's really not that big a deal. It just isn't. It's all a mind over matter. It really is. Tony Robbins has been doing that crap for years. So
anyway, so we do have an amazing.
Oh, that's right. He was doing that, wasn't he?
yeah.
If you give it 20 years, it will all come back.
It does.
20
It's
years,
cycling
and
back
everything
again.
comes back.
The first time I did a firewalk was with Tony Robbins, I guess in the 80s, sometime or another.
Oh.
So I don't know. And I've done it several times just because I gave into group pressure because I was at some retreat or whatever. But you got to do the firewalk. It's awesome. I'm like, did it, done it. We used to do fireworks when I was a kid because we went barefoot on tar streets. And you'd come home in the middle of the summer and you'd peel that tar as a whole footprint off of your foot. Now that's hot. That's hot.
My fire walk is walking on sand barefoot.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So.
But if anybody's interested out there and wants to hear about it, let me know. I can send you information on it. I think it's amazing that people have that mindset to be able to do it. I don't have.
I do too. I think it's interesting. I'm interested in that.
There's nothing to talk about though. There was a fire. They put the ashes out. I walked across it. I had a phenomenal experience. Do a fire walk. We're done. You had your fire walk.
But wait a minute. What if we look at it this way?
I'm done. I'm done with it, and we got to go off the air. I'm done.
Well, I think it's teaching people how to work with their mind over matter. So
yeah,
all right,
I agree.
everybody.